You there, Ralph? You got nervous? You went to go play with yourself? The show's over. He got nervous. Yo, you can't just leave mid show like that. What's up with you?
I mean, the Dolphins left mid-playoff game.
Mmm. Mmm. That that hurts you more to say than to really
It's
digest.
gonna be that type of episode, Martin. You should have seen it coming, bro. You
I
should have seen
honestly, I
it
was like,
coming.
where the fuck did this guy go? That's what I was honestly thinking. I was like, this guy got to take a piss or something. So
Nah,
let's
man.
get into let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's go. So we have a brand new panel this week, and it might be a little more extensive than what you're normally used to.
I'm
So
excited.
let's bring them in. Let's bring them in. Let's not waste any time.
Let's start with Chris. We got Gabriel, and of course, we have Vic. What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up? What's going
Let's
on?
fucking go.
What's going
We're
on?
bringing the
I don't
heat
know where
tonight,
you're
bro. We're
going,
bringing the
bro.
heat tonight.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
the only
like
thing we got left.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
this is a 19 is a early 90s group chat on AIM. This is what it is right now. That's what it looks like.
Ooh.
Nah, man,
Ooh.
it's great to honestly, it's great to have you guys on the show, man, and we get to talk some shit just like we did back in the day about the team that disappoints every year. Let's like Martin said, let's get into it, bro. 26-7, the Dolphins just lost second second consecutive playoff game. Let me hear your thoughts.
Let's start with Chris.
No,
We
nobody has
haven't heard from
thoughts.
Chris.
No, nobody
I
has
have a
thoughts.
lot of thoughts.
I'm
I have a lot of
speechless.
thoughts.
Go ahead, Chris. Since you're the one
Chris,
on the
Chris, come on,
on the
let's
top
hear it.
right.
All
Let's
right,
hear it,
right,
bro. What are your
yeah.
thoughts?
My thoughts, man. Honestly, man, as much as I love the Dolphins, it's not a surprise. Our defense was very injured. They were basically playing our practice squad, man. So and the Dolphins never do good in the cold, you know. So that's all I gotta say right now. I'm not really surprised, but hey, man, it was a good season, man.
What about you, Gabriel?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say that. Oh, same old Dolphins because every season is new.
Why not?
It's unique. Because okay, the reason why I say that is because do you really think these Dolphin players care about what happened in 2002, in 2003, or in 2008? They don't care about that. This is every year is different, unique to itself. I will say this: I was disappointed at the end. It was very disappointing. Yeah, we had a lot of injuries, but you can't give up a 3-game lead when you have the AFC right there at your hands, and you had to win a playoff game this year, and that was very disappointing. Yeah, this is one of the better seasons that I've enjoyed because let's be honest, I've been a fan since like 2000, 2001. Like that's when I first remember actually watching the Dolphins, and we haven't had much success. So by default, this has been one of the better seasons, but it's definitely disappointing at the end. Giving up, losing to Baltimore the way we did, losing against the Bills the way we did. That to me, that was the most disappointing game out of the 3-game losing streak or to end the season. And the Chiefs game, I called it. I just didn't see a way that we were going to beat Mahomes in Kansas City, -30, with all the injuries that we had. Our chance was to win that Buffalo game, and we didn't do it.
I'm gonna cut you because you talk
And it's
too much.
disappointing.
Hey, I want to hear Vic's point of view.
I
on
was
this.
done, bro.
Vic,
He was done.
This guy
I
was
was
drunk.
done, bro.
This guy was drunk. Just gave him
I'm
a
in pain,
spiel.
bro. I have a lot to vent. I have a lot of stuff.
He's
You
in
have
pain.
time.
He's in
You'll have
pain.
your chance. You'll have your
You
chance.
you need a therapist. You need a therapist.
Yes, yeah. I'm Tony.
I
Yeah,
have to.
I'm Tony
I have to.
Soprano. I'm Tony Soprano. I need a therapist.
Going back to Chris's point, I have to disagree with you. Regarding the defense, I think even though we had injuries, I think the defense did enough to hold and to get the offense in the game, and the offense never responded. I'm not here to put the blame on certain people. I think it's a team effort. It's a team effort. But if we are going to put the blame on somebody, I'm gonna have to go with McDaniels.
Don't do it.
Okay.
Don't do it.
I'm gonna go with McDaniels.
Yeah. Let's hold off to.
I'm gonna make McDaniels.
Let's hold
Obviously,
off. We're gonna ask you later. We're gonna ask you later.
Okay.
Let's hold off
Okay.
specifics.
I'll hold off on the specifics. I can get really specific with it, but the defense, even though Wilkins did that stupid penalty, the defense held up. They kicked some field goals. The offense never responded. Yeah, it was very disappointing. Very disappointing, and you know, it was a great season, like Gabriel said, and we did win 2 more games than we did last year, but it's the same result. So there's a lot of big decisions going into the offseason, Tua's contract, Wilkins' contract, all this other stuff, the draft coming up in April. So it's gonna be interesting.
Martin,
You
what
were
do you got to
you were
say?
Vic was 2 seconds away from being cut off by Gabriel.
He was done.
Yeah,
I
he
was
was
done. I'm
done.
done. I'm done.
You're about to have
No,
a therapist. You're about to see a
hon-
therapist.
honestly, although I thought we had a very good chance to win this game going into it, I thought it was going to be us turning it around and not worrying about the cold, because at the end of the day, these people it's football. They're like, the cold, yeah, matters to get into the game, but once you're in the into the second quarter, into the third quarter, it's still a game. Like, it doesn't matter what the weather is. So I didn't think that would be the biggest factor. I thought the biggest factor would be our defense, and it really came to play. The offense, on the other hand, it was disappointing. Like, there's no other word to use. It was embarrassing, if you want me to say that. That your defense, which is undermanned by far, d- shows out the way they did, and you guys are fully manned on offense, and you put up 7 points. That's all. I'm gonna leave it there. But yeah, there was so much to really nitpick from that game.
Yeah, crazy game. I mean, the fact that we had basically all our linebackers out replaced with guys who weren't even in the league, and you still managed to do that. And then little things happen. We come up short on that end. Uh, Gabriel said one great thing that I resonate with, bro.
That's new.
I've been a Dolphins fan since 2000, 2001, and we haven't had so much success
Right,
success.
exactly.
Bro, that is my thought of the day. That is fucking accurate as it gets.
How about this stat? We're the longest team with the longest franchise without a
Oh,
Yeah.
playoff
Oh, that's
because
right. Because
Detroit won.
Detroit won. Yeah. That's
So
horrible.
it's horrible, dude. It's horrible. We need to cut that streak.
Nah, but before
And
getting
next
into
year's
that,
tough.
guys. No, next year is. But we're
Yeah,
gonna
it's
get to
gonna
that
be a
too.
lot
We're
tougher.
gonna get to that too. Bro. Look, listen. What was your biggest flop of this game? Whether it be a moment, player, call, anything. What was your biggest flop? Let's start with you, Vic.
I want to say the biggest flop that I felt like really killed the game was the Wilkins penalty. Because we could have had a chance maybe to come back. Obviously, the offense was just stinking it up every drive, 3 and outs, turnovers, offensive penalties killing the drive. But that Wilkins penalty really hurt us because we were still kind of in the game, and they just sealed it. It was just like that just killed all momentum to get back in the game.
What about you, Chris? What was your biggest flop out there, man?
I gotta say the offense, man, too. I know our defense was hurt and all that, but our offense couldn't get it rolling. Our offense, yeah, we scored one touchdown or whatnot, but our offense couldn't get it rolling all game. The Chiefs defense have made statements throughout their season, and I figured coming in, man, it'd be a tough game, especially whatever everybody wants to make excuses. Both teams could play in the cold and whatnot, but at the end of the day, man, the Dolphins are not accustomed to that. You could tell like the energy that the Chiefs came out with. They're used to that. They're used to playing in the cold. They're used to playing in that weather, and just something seemed off from the very beginning. I could go into more details, but I don't want to get cut off by Martin. So definitely, definitely, I gotta say, definitely, man. That's all I gotta say for now.
Gabriel,
What
let's
about
go.
you,
Let's hear
Gabriel?
it.
Come on.
All
Come
right.
on,
The
you got
flop
it.
was
You got a
the
lot to
biggest flop
bet.
was
So.
listen. The biggest flop was the score. That's it. I'm done. No, I'm kidding. I don't want. I don't want.
That seems like that's short and sweet. All right, let's go on to the next.
No. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
I
What's
mean,
your biggest flop?
listen. It's the offense, and honestly, I think play calling was just horrific. How many times is Mike McDaniel gonna fucking throw that damn bubble screen? When it's like 3-1 or 3-2,
Second and inches.
second and inches. Yeah, like it's the play calling, the offense as a whole, but the play calling and Mike McDaniel to me was the biggest flop. Tua deserves some blame, obviously, but I'm sorry, Mike McDaniel did not put his people in the best positions to succeed. The biggest flop was coaching / play calling. Simple as that.
Martin, you've been waiting for it all season.
No,
No,
this guy.
I'm not. That's the
What
funny
was
part.
it? What?
Everybody thinks I'm gonna go with Tua. No, it's Mike McDaniel. McDaniel has shown
Because it's
this
too
last
obvious. It
three.
was just too obvious.
Yeah, 100%. Like
Yeah.
no matter how bad, the fact is that Tua could have played a horrible game, but the play calling didn't give him the chance to even play a bad game because all we
Right.
did was throw screens. Like,
Yeah,
how are you
and they
gonna
didn't
say?
run the
Like,
ball. Yeah.
all right, this is your time to talk.
Sorry.
Come on, let's go. Come on, I gotta cut you off. I gotta cut me off. What's
Sorry,
wrong?
bro.
Come on.
Go. We'll cut both
No,
of
but
you.
like let's be realistic. Like, where in that game can you say Tua played bad other than that interception? Like, nobody could really nitpick any bad plays by him because it was screen. I swear, I think there was more than 10 screens, and it was short yardage, and we would throw a screen, and I was like, well, first of all, I get that the reason why you don't want to throw the ball deep because you're thinking he might not be used to this type of weather and the ball might get out of his hand, so a screen is the easiest way to set up the plays. But when we were down in the fourth quarter when they scored that last touchdown, you saw him rip the ball. I would have loved to see 5 interceptions by Tua and lose the game instead of throw screens and have your defense just out there the whole game. Like, that was horrendous. That made me want to be like, hey, bro, everybody, I didn't think about the play calling, but you need to give up play calling. If that's what you're gonna do, give it to somebody else. You can throw in your schemes here and there, but if that's what you're gonna be a whiz kid to throw screens. How does that even make sense? Like, Brian Flores could have called offensive plays better than me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Yikes.
I don't know.
This guy brought up Brian Flores guy.
What's the?
Martin's
It only took
just
10 minutes, but he got Brian
riding
Flores.
that Flores. Riding that Flores thing hard,
It
bro.
took 10 minutes.
Martin, what do you think is a lack of confidence from McDaniels? Why he's making those play calls? Because our offensive line has been banged up, and
they were healthy enough this week, and they played pretty good. What pressure did Tua really have? Like, there was instances where the pressure was there, but like not more than you would expect going versus a defense like the Chiefs. Like,
Tua also didn't. I mean, besides the screen, I don't think he made the right reads either. I mean, he overthrew Waddle. He threw into double coverage. So there's some things Tua needs to get better with the reads. I mean, obviously he's great with the bad teams, but with the good teams, with good defenses that take away that dimension of football, we need to find other ways to win. We need to find physical players that can win the game too.
And not only that, real quick. I feel like everybody knows this. Yeah, Waddle had his 1,000-yard season as well, but like, it's too Hill based offense. You get me? Yeah, he threw a bunch of screens.
I've been saying that,
but I feel like Tua, one of his flaws. I mean, he could throw the ball great. He may not throw the ball deep, but guess who couldn't throw the ball deep either? That deep, Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning just was phenomenal at reading the defense, phenomenal at scanning the field, and if his number one target wasn't open, his number two target was open. You get me? And I feel like he would throw it to Hill. He's only staring at Hill, or he was staring at that one receiver. We don't use our tight end as much. I know Smythe isn't a Pro Bowler, but use Smythe, bro. Use your other receivers.
Solid.
Mix it up, yeah. And there's also the play calling. You're not wrong about that. McDaniel needs to switch up the play calling. So I mean, that's it.
To answer what you were saying, Vic, about that, I would say that McDaniel didn't give Tua a chance to even get into a rhythm to feel comfortable throwing in the code, first of all.
No.
And then the blitzes that the Chiefs throw are they're unexpected. They're not every time. So like, even when he probably had a good play set up, the blitz was there, and it was throwing him off. So if he would have given him some time to like throw the ball downfield, get into a rhythm, the only throw he had downfield, he barely made it out there. The one to Hill, they scored a touchdown. Hill came back to the ball. If it wasn't for that, that's a knockdown pass. Like, they're not. We end up with 0 points. So like, let's get the ball downfield before you try to throw it to just deep passes to Hill. Because a focal point this offense for sure has been Hill, and I've always said that was going to be detriment to our success this season. So yeah, let's move on, because I know
no,
move
on. I was gonna say my biggest flop would be Tua, and not because I would say he had such a terrible game. Like, he had a bad game, but it has to do a lot with the play call. But my thing is that throw down to Waddle in the middle where he overthrew him. If you rewatch that play, you could tell
the ball got tipped. I think it got tipped, didn't it?
No, but he can't.
They said it, but no.
I think it got tipped.
He couldn't even grip the ball right. if you notice, bro, even on the one he threw to Tua, that it didn't travel as far as you usually see him throw the ball. Yeah. Oh, sorry, to Hill. So I think that's a lot of where the bubble screen came in, and the running back screens that like they were just trying to throw sideways because he couldn't get a grip of the ball. I think that might be it. With it
No, and he
being
looked
cold,
flustered,
like
and
Chris
Tua
said.
looked flustered too.
But they didn't give
No,
him
he
a
looked
chance to
super
get in a
hesitant.
rhythm, man.
He looked,
Like, you don't
Yeah,
get
he
in a
looked
rhythm throwing
hesitant.
screens.
He looked flustered. He looked hesitant. You know, this is not all on McDaniel. You know, the quarterback needs to play better. That's 100.
Yeah.
I mean,
the
he needs to play
quarterback
better.
and your coach are the leaders of the team. They're the signal callers. They see everything go down. They know when to adjust. So I feel like, yeah, it's 50-50 on the blame on each of them. Now, my thing is, if the play calling was a little bit better, if we didn't run the ball 11 times only, we probably would have done a lot better. But we gave up on that shit early as hell. But
He always does that. Mike McDaniel always does that.
But the offensive line doesn't help out, man, with the penalties. It's killed the drives too. You know, forcing third and longs, illegal formations. How many times did we see that the last 2 weeks? I felt like we saw it a bunch of times.
And correct me if I'm wrong. I think also in that Bills game, I mean, we didn't lose by that much, obviously, touchdown. But I feel in that Bills game, we also run away from the running game.
Absolutely.
I feel like we try to be like, we try to go hand in hand with Josh Allen, go back to back, prove our point that Tua or Josh Allen. But we went away from the running game. The running game was working for us in the Bills game, and again, just like to Ralphie's point, we went away from the running game, the Chiefs game as well. But I feel like just to give a little credit to the Chiefs, I feel like they were prepared for our offense. They were prepared. They knew kind of what we were gonna do. Their defense was phenomenal. I gotta give credit to them. So yeah, man, our Dolphins gotta play better.
I don't think they ran away from the running game on the Chiefs game. They just never established it.
Yeah.
Now
yeah.
the Bills, the Bills
runs.
game. Now the Bills game, we were gashing them with A-chain all day long, and then they ran away from it. So to me, not even trying to establish the run game against the Chiefs is that's egregious. You can't do that, bro. It's horrible, especially in that weather. Like, what is that?
Let me ask you guys a question, and I want to start with Vic on this one. Just because we brought up the quarterback, with Tua coming up on his 5th-year option now, do you extend and give him the 40-50 million for the next 5 years, Martin?
Yeah, they were saying 5-year, 180, guaranteed 100, maybe 120. You guys can answer that question.
I think you wait it out. I think you wait it out for the 5th year. I don't think you give him the money right away. I think you talk to him and see, because he's a game manager. You know, he controls the game. There's nothing really something that stands out from Tua. He is accurate. You know, he's a game manager, but is he like a Josh Allen? Is he like a Lamar Jackson, where elite quarterbacks mask our deficiencies? And I don't feel like Tua is that level yet. I mean, he had a great season, but I don't feel like, he's had a great season against bad teams, and he needs to win against good teams, bro. That's why if you're going to pay this guy 40-50 million, he needs to win in the playoff game. Hey, we pay you 40-50 million to win in December and in January, not to lose in December and January. That's my opinion on it.
What are your thoughts, Gabriel?
Yeah, well, real quickly, right off the bat, I disagree with you, Vic, when you say he's a game manager. I don't agree with that. There's been games where he's actually put the team on his back and won. Again, week 1 against the Chargers, you can call it the Chargers, that's fine. But if it wasn't for Tua, they don't win that game. And there's other games that we've seen him sling the ball and not be a game manager. So I disagree with you on that one. But to answer the original question, as much as I love Tua and been a Tua supporter, I can't give him the money right now. I definitely got to wait it out, because if you give him this money and he does it again, now you're stuck with him for 4-5 years.
You're looking at a Prescott situation.
You're looking at a Prescott situation. You're looking at a Tony Romo situation, a situation where these players just, you're talented, you're good, but you just can't get it done. And we've seen that before. Phillip Rivers is another one. So I would definitely wait it out.
Rivers on no disrespect to
Why?
Phillip Rivers here.
Why? What are you, a Phillip Rivers fan?
How are you not?
Phillip Rivers was good.
How are you not? How are you not a fan of Phillip Rivers?
No. Listen. But you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. There's been phenomenal quarterbacks in this league that just can't get it done at the worst possible time.
Gabriel, you mentioned the Chargers. The Chargers aren't even in the playoffs.
But
you look at the Kansas City team. Wait, you look at the Kansas City game. You look at the Kansas City game in the regular season, the Philadelphia game, and the Titans game.
No,
he
this
could
year
have come
for
clutch.
sure. Yeah.
He could have come clutch in those 3 games this year.
But last year, I know last year was last year, but there was examples of that last year.
Oh, for sure. In the
Baltimore,
Ravens
the
game.
Bills,
Ladies,
the Lions.
I want to hear what Chris has to say. Ladies,
yes,
relax.
yeah. Sorry, we'll take it back
makes it
to
exciting for fans.
I gotta
Exactly.
in a way agree with Vic and Gabriel. You waited out. Honestly, I wasn't always big on Tua. I do admit that Mike McDaniels did make him better. He did make him better. You can see the difference in change if you go back a couple seasons before McDaniels entered the picture. Tua wasn't who he is right now, and I know we don't have the weapons. We didn't have the weapons back then, but Tua has improved a lot, bro. A lot. I wouldn't say a lot where you give him that contract extension, but I say we wait it out and see what's going on next year, bro. That's all I gotta say. See what's going on. He's not a bad quarterback, man. We just gotta see what's going on next year. That's it.
I do know when the numbers are being thrown out, 45, 50 million, that it looks like a lot. In the NFL today, the QB market,
Right.
we have to understand that is what it is. Like 40 to 50 is what really they're going to. Lamar
No,
Jackson
the number is
just
a
got
number. Yeah, the number's a number. Sorry.
Lamar got 230. Deshaun got guaranteed full contract 220 or 210, I forgot what it was. Kirk, somehow, some way, anytime he gets his contract expires, he gets a fully guaranteed contract. That got 40. Like at the end of the day, like you're really what your decision's based off is that do you think he's gonna get you guys over the top? If the money really is not gonna matter for a team because at the end of the day, a quarterback's where you really want to build a team around. Is he the guy you can do that? I personally don't think so. I don't pay him the money. I make him earn it. He's had 2 bad seasons or mediocre seasons with Flores, and then he had an above average season last year, and he had a good season this year. When people are going to look at numbers, they're going to be like, oh, it's really good. Well, I'm going to say it's good. Do I pay somebody $45 million based off 2 seasons? No, because that ends up being a Daniel Jones situation that you paid him, 75. Like that was a steal for them. But as bad as it was a steal. Like they paid $75 million for a quarterback. Nowadays, that's unheard of. I don't pay him. I wait it out.
Agreed.
100%.
We're all in agreement.
So we all agree. What the hell?
Ralph.
Anybody want to disagree?
Oh, my bad. Go ahead, Ralphie.
Yeah, Ralph.
You guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but
Yeah, I do.
Thanks, bro. If the Dolphins are smart, if Tua is smart, they somehow find a way to work out a deal where it works for both sides. Just because,
but that deal. The numbers that are being thrown out is a team-friendly deal.
What was the numbers again? I'm sorry, my bad. What was the
45 million a year.
Yeah,
100 guaranteed, 180 total.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys are getting hung up on the numbers so much because in
That's
4
like you
years
said,
from now,
it's gonna be
that's gonna be a bargain. Yeah. I don't care about the number. I care about can this dude.
Are you repeating what I'm saying?
But no, because you didn't even say that correctly. So no, but that's what I'm saying.
Oh,
when you bring out the number, you bring out the number. I'm just joking with you, Martin. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm laughing.
To me, it's not the number.
No one let me finish.
Yeah, we don't care. After what you just said, you should be kicked out.
That's it.
Hold on. Give me a second.
You're banned.
No, look.
Just edit out that part. No, I'm kidding.
Both sides need to find a way to make a deal that works. And this is because if Tua is smart, he needs to realize, damn, I played the best game or the best seasons I've had with the best team around me. They need to keep that type of team around this guy in order for him to have success. I've said it. If things aren't perfect for him, you're not going to see what you saw this past season. Look at the first 2 years of Flores. So in my eyes, they got to find the way to make it work. And if it is that 40, 50 million over the next 4 years, like Gabriel said, bro, in 3 years, that money's going to double. That's going to be 60 million for 4 or whatever the hell it is.
45 plus times 45.
Guys, remember the window is going down for a championship too. You know, we signed Tyreek Hill, how much years he has on his contract.
One more.
Wilkins on his last year. Ramsey has another year left. You know, we're in a championship window, kind of, if you think about it. You know, so
And
It's
a
tough.
quarterback
It's a
and a
tough
quarterback
decision.
is hard to come by. I know there's a few guys coming out the draft this year, but a quarterback is very hard to come by, bro. Very hard to
And
come by.
we've sucked developing them. Look at Green Bay; they have never had an issue getting a quarterback.
Yeah,
Every
that's
year, it's
crazy.
like
That's
it's
crazy.
crazy, bro.
Like for
It's
30 years straight, they
crazy.
have like good quarterback play.
Good quarterback play,
Insane.
bro.
Insane.
No, I mean that's a staple, bro. Like I said, I feel he needs to get that dog in him. I think he needs to be a leader. I think he needs to make
Yeah,
signal calls at the line, call audibles, do all this shit. Have the
I
best
agree.
recognition in the league,
I think
especially
there's
if
a
you're
little
a
bit of
timing
prisoner of the
offense.
moment.
You think so?
I think so. I think there's a little bit of a prisoner in the moment. I mean, we're forgetting what this guy did in the beginning of the year. And again, I know Vic's about to attack me, but oh, look, bad teams, bad teams.
No, no,
But
no,
what
no.
I'm saying, but what I'm saying is that what this with this guy, how he was playing was phenomenal. I think we're being a little bit prisoner in the moment. I like what Ralph, what you said that everything has to be perfect around him. I disagree with that as well because in the Flores era, everything was bad around him, but he still won more than he lost. And Flores was totally against him. I don't want to get into it, but we all know the story. So
But
He
I
wanted to
feel
get
like
Jordan
you're
Love.
being
to, to
that's
me, the
true.
thing is with the
Well,
Flores era,
it's just
with the Flores era, the defense carried you all the way.
okay.
The defense
Okay.
carried you all the way, bro.
Yeah, but in
They probably
2020,
had.
when it was time to win, they gave up 56 points in that last game against Buffalo to go in. So did the defense really carry
But
you
look who you're
there?
talking
Or?
about. It's
Gibbs.
2023, and we still can't beat Buffalo. Look who you just said.
Yeah,
Look who you
And
just
yeah.
said.
But yeah, but that's all
I
I'll
think
say. I
also
think a
too.
little bit of prisoner of
Also,
the moment. That's all.
I think too at the beginning of the year that we came out with this system with Mike McDaniel, this timing offense, and I feel like teams also they adjusted, and good teams know how to take away
Yeah.
your strengths. And they took that away, and we weren't able to counter. You see, the Niners, you could try to take away Debo, but they got a counter push for that. Okay, Kittle. Okay, you're gonna try to take away Kittle. Okay, we got McCaffrey. We don't have a counter punch. We're just a speedy offense, and you don't need finesse at the end of the year. You need a physical, strong. You need some players, some strong a strong running back, a strong linebacker, some strong players that can set the tone, bro. And we didn't have that this year, bro. At the end of the
I
year.
agree. I agree. We're not a physical
Yeah.
team. I always said we needed to be a good team, but
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
nothing in this Chiefs game was like, hey, they stopped it. We just didn't do shit. We were just bad on offense. We had nothing going. There was not one drive. You're like, damn, we moved the ball. Not one. So I can't even say they punched us in the mouth. We let ourselves be the bitch in this game. That's what we were. We were soft. It's the
Not this
truth.
game. The
Like
last
we
They
game.
they
Yeah,
ran
yeah,
they ran on us. They ran the ball on
Last
us.
4 weeks.
yeah.
They established the run. They jammed us up. They jammed us up. Snead, there's a video of Snead
That was
jamming
one
Tyreek to the
Jamming
play,
up Tyreek
floor.
bro.
Hill.
That
They
was
literally,
one play.
guys, they
Hey,
literally ran the
One
same
play.
shit
Come on,
in the
come on,
regular
come on.
season. They did the same shit.
Look, moving on from Tua, I want to ask you guys the next question because you guys are bringing up a lot of play call, a lot of McDaniels, a lot of offense, basically. How confident do you feel with McDaniels moving forward into next season? Let's start with you, Chris.
Bro, I love what McDaniels have done with our offense. You know, explosive, very different. I gotta agree a little bit with the whole we're not too physical. We have key players, man. We have players that can make plays. It's just I feel like we just gotta go away from Hill. We just gotta go away from Hill. Like I feel like we start using other players once we're down in a game or once we're desperate to come back into a game. You start seeing maybe a little more Water, a little more Smythe, a little more Craycraft. But bro, we just need to go away from Hill, develop our other players as well and go away from Hill. That's how I feel. I feel McDaniels has done a great job. Yes, there's a lot of games you could blame McDaniels, you could blame Tua, but they both got a lot to improve. And McDaniels, I feel like he's that type of guy. He'll go back, he'll look at the film, and he'll see where he has to improve. So I'm cool with McDaniels, man.
What about you, Martin?
I just feel like in key spots he has not lived up to the hype that he's been given. I do think he might have to zoom out and see what's going on in the game. I don't think he does that. He's so focused on the next play, he doesn't understand situations on what's really going on right now. And it might just be because he's a young coach. He might just not have the experience just yet. He's good when he's ahead. He's going to continue scoring on you. But when he has to adjust and really change the scheme of the whole game, it's hard to do it as a coach 100% when you're the one like managing the team and looking at the next play call. Like that is tough. So he might have to take that step back. And if he's willing to take that step back, I'll give him another year. But as of right now, what he's shown to me is that when he's in a tough spot, he doesn't have it.
Nick, you feel confident moving forward with him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I mean, even though we're criticizing him, I mean, he's in year 2, going on year 3. You know, first time being a head coach. You know, this is what you get when you have somebody who was an assistant or a coordinator becoming a coach. They have to go through their learning curve, and I feel like he needs to go through his learning curve. He's a genius. He's smart when it comes to designing plays. He's helped Tua. Yeah, he's helped Tua get super comfortable in the offense. But I also agree with Martin too. Like, I feel like he gets stubborn and he has to learn if he's going to be calling the plays, the sequence of the game, right? The script of the game. And sometimes I feel like he gets too stubborn. You know, like we've all said, sometimes he gets away from the running game, and you know, it's just passing, or short down a second and inches, and you call a halfback pass, and it's like, dude, like, come on, man. You know, what is that?
We're not the aggressor. We need to be the aggressor in those situations with a fullback like Ingold that's got it already paid. Use that guy.
For real, we're still not using that guy. Jesus.
We need to squeeze anything we can out of Ingold, and in those short yardage, we had 3 of them this week. Not once that we have a run play.
Facts.
Hey, bro, what about you, bro? You want to ride with McDaniels?
No,
you want to stick
yeah,
with it?
no. I mean, to piggyback everything Vic was saying, I agree 100%. What he's done with our offense is, you know, it's been great. I'm not willing just to let that go. You know, just because a couple of just because a couple of bad games. I think he's a young coach, and he needs to like, you know, I think Vic was saying it, like, step back, or was it Martin? I think to step back, analyze the game as a head coach, because it's true. When you're play calling the game, you're worried about the next play. You're not getting a full, the full picture of what's going right, the full scope of the game, of exactly what's going on. Now, I don't mind him calling plays next year, but if he keeps wetting the bed, then it's a problem. But yeah, no, he's a young coach. I think he's going to get better, and I would stick with him. His offense his play designing is too good. His scheming is too good just to let that, just to let it go. Oh no, you failed a couple of games. We're done. No, so I'm a ride with him for sure.
But he's shown to be good scheming into a game. He hasn't adjusted.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly.
That is that is exactly, a big problem.
Exactly. Yeah, I was gonna say that his in-game coaching is bad. It's bad. It's very bad. It is. His in-game coaching is bad. Now, before a game preparation, he's great. Against the bad teams, because the good teams is great.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's like Martin said, when you're ahead.
No, his in-game coaching is bad, man. His in-game coaching is bad to make adjustments.
When you're ahead, he's gonna make sure he gets a dub. He will not stop.
But you're not making adjustments, idiot. When you're up, you're
only
making adjustments or you're down.
That's what I'm getting. Okay, but that's what I'm getting.
That's what he was saying.
In pressure moments. Hey man, the cat agreed with everything Gabriel had to say.
I know.
Nah, but yeah, in key moments and clutch moments, that's where I feel he fucks up. And there's actually times, because I heard you guys say it in the beginning of the episode, that he's scared. Bro, McDaniels is never scared. That guy is
he's not scared. I don't believe he's scared.
Yeah.
I don't believe he's scared.
Too cute at times. So that's
my thing. When did we start looking at how they look?
Who said that he was scared?
Bro, not physically, bro. Not physically. Body language wise.
Yeah, like
what kind of podcast is this?
That's my thing.
All right, guys, that was nice, darling. No, okay.
Yeah, nice knowing all y'all.
For real. That's my thing with him. When you really need a fucking first down, when you really need a touchdown, bro, he calls some crazy shit, or he just calls the wrong play, period. And it's something that he needs to work on going into the future. Like Martin said, bro, we have a fullback, a Pro Bowl fullback, that we do not give the ball when we're 1 inch away from getting a first down. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand why we don't use that guy. I really do not understand why we do not use that guy.
That's a good point, though. That's a good point.
It's crazy to see, bro. I mean, what else can you say? But there is nothing to say. There is really.
He's got to get better. No, he's got to get better as a coach, and I think he will. He doesn't strike me as one of these stubborn guys. Oh, it's my way or the highway. But he needs to get better in high leverage moments. He needs to be a better in-game, coach for sure. And there's a lot of good qualities to him as well. A lot. So I think we
Tell me
should
about his
keep building
qualities,
on him.
Gabriel.
Well, he has a nice watch. He dresses.
The off whites.
Yeah, the off whites are awesome. Yo, his gear is phenomenal, bro. I got swag to the max. But
Hey,
no, man. I mean,
he is not. I'm not saying as bad as I've said he's been in the last few weeks in critical situations. I will say there's no way to get rid of him because he's done so much in the last 2 years. I get it, but
I don't
he
think
just
he
needs to.
Yeah.
He just needs to like really go back, and he might need an assistant head coach to really get into like help him out with scheming. Like it might come to that. It might.
Oh, we lost. Did we lose Vic?
Yeah,
No, I'm
Vic's
here,
cat
here.
kicked him out of the.
Oh, okay. No,
Vic's
Martin,
cat.
Martin. Let me ask you though, Martin. Do you want him to relieve, like to relinquish play calling?
Not necessary. Is that again as a head coach, you can go into the game already with the scheme. This is look what we're gonna do, and
Right,
then he,
correct.
As a whiz, be like, hey, I'm the head coach. You're calling plays. Well, look, this is my 2 cents. Maybe not 100% give it away, but to the point that look, I'm not calling every single play. I'm giving you situational plays.
So,
I'm doing.
so who would you
like
give
that.
the play calling to?
Frank Smith, but he might get scooped up.
Yeah, he might get a. Well, I think it's a stretch. I really do, especially how it ended.
Yeah,
How
me
about
too.
this? How about this? Instead of getting a play caller, you get a veteran assistant that has nothing to do. That has nothing to do with play calling and more decision making.
Bieniemy was a good
you have
thing.
on the sideline.
Bieniemy was a very good thing for.
I like that.
For
That's
Andy
a good
Reid.
way of putting it.
For Andy Reid,
Yeah.
so can it hurt? And especially him being so young, it might be harder for him to do it because Andy Reid's at the end of his career. He might have been like, all right, I need this. At this point, McDaniel's like, I'm too young. I can do this. This isn't something that I'm going to be looking at doing. So maybe it's too much of a reach on my point. But they might, Greer might say, hey, look, both of our asses are on the line next year if this doesn't change. So do you want to make that adjustment and go from there?
I mean,
That's a
guys,
good point.
We got a whole off season to look forward to get better.
To look forward to? I don't know about that.
No, the reason I say that is because we still got the draft. We still got things going on. I want to ask you guys another.
And we
question.
actually have a first round pick this year.
Yes,
For the first time in 3 years.
Yes, with this current Dolphins roster, with the free agents coming up, what do you think the Dolphins' biggest move is coming into the offseason? Let's start with you, Vic.
The biggest move, I think the biggest move is going to be one of the biggest moves is definitely Wilkins. If we're going to sign him or we're going to let him go. And then also the draft. I'm very interested to see in the draft. I really want us to get a strong linebacker that could come in and be a difference maker, that can work with Holland and Phillips and Chubb. And then hopefully get a physical running back, man. A hammer. Not just speed, but a hammer that can get the 3-4 yards, like a Montgomery.
I knew that was coming.
You need to chill.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Nah.
Yo, Cameron, chill out, Cameron.
We have Chris Brooks, bro. We have Chris Brooks. We got Chris Brooks. That's our power back right there.
Yeah. I would say we're good there, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. What do you think, Chris? What do you think is the biggest additions?
Obviously Wilkins has been a huge factor for us, but besides that, I feel like our secondary needs help, man. Our secondary, I feel like it could use some improvement. I feel like everybody loves Xavier Howard. I still love him, but I feel like he got cooked a couple times this year.
Yeah. He's the end of the road. End of the road.
Yeah, man. He got cooked a couple times this year. I gotta admit that, bro. And I feel like our secondary needs some help, man. So if we could find some good cornerbacks, some big, tall, strong, physical cornerbacks, man, I feel like that could help us out, obviously. So this guy.
Gabriel, go ahead,
Gabriel. In terms of additions, we're not gonna know who's really a free agent until March comes around. So it's hard to say. I would have to see who gets cut, to see how we can improve the team before the draft. But what I would say the most important thing coming into this, if we're gonna, obviously we're keeping Tua. I've been saying it. We have to solidify the offensive line. We need to re-sign Robert Hunt. I don't know if that was going to be something you guys were going to ask later on,
Yeah.
but like who you need to it's Robert Hunt. You got to try to keep Connor Williams, and if you don't, you better draft a center with that first round pick to plug and play him. Teron Armstead, is he coming back? And if he does come back, is he going to have 5 injuries like at the same time? Again, bro, that guy had ankle, quad, knee. What? Like, how many body parts can you have on the injury report? So I think solidifying the offensive line, because Tua. The one thing I will say about Tua, about his limitations, he needs a line.
Protection.
He needs protection. 100%.
Protection. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, signing
Bro,
Robert Hunt,
we might
if
need
he
a
does-
strength and conditioning coach. How are we getting all these guys injured, man?
I think that's
Every
luck,
year at the end
bro.
of the year.
I really think that's luck. Honestly, like all joking aside, I think that's luck. Jalen Phillips tearing his ACL, luck. I mean, I'm sorry, his Achilles, luck.
Chubb is McDaniel's fault.
Yeah, you can say that because he
That's
kept
tough.
him in.
That's
There was-
tough. But
yeah,
yeah,
that's
There was
tough.
no
I get
reason
it.
to
I
keep
get
him
it.
in
That's tough.
there.
I
We
get
were
it.
getting
Yeah.
blown out.
Yeah, but he probably would have tore his ACL next week, man. When that thing wants to go, it goes. But that's luck. But again, like I
People are
said,
saying it
O-line
was
is
the
most
turf.
important.
I don't know.
I mean, it could be, but we
it
don't
was
know
the
that.
Jets.
We don't know.
Oh no, it was at Ravens. So no.
It was the Ravens game. We were already getting blown out, and McDaniels kept them in the game, and he got
Yeah, that
hurt.
was stupid. That was very stupid. But like I
Bro,
said,
he's gonna
O-line is
learn-
the biggest
he's gonna learn
priority.
a lot.
The biggest addition next year will be, yes, a center if Connor's out. That will become the first.
The number
But right
one.
now it's
Not
linebacker.
Caleb Williams, Martin.
Oh,
Justin
That boy will get a
Fields.
K with
Justin
it.
Fields.
Ew.
No,
Justin Fields,
no.
gross.
I'm actually not a
Oh,
big
but
fan of Caleb Williams.
Martin-
I'm not.
Martin's
I'm
the type of
I'm a
fan
big
that's
Penix fan.
Drake May. This boy's a Drake May fan.
All right,
I like Michael
never mind.
Penix. I like Michael Penix. Anyways.
Disregard this guy. No, but I think it's gonna be linebacker, middle or outside. It's gonna be one of those positions. And then if Connor Williams is not signed, that moves up to 1. So
Absolutely.
that's for sure.
100%.
That's for sure is the
And
one of
Rob
the things we
Hunt,
get worried
Rob
about.
Hunt too.
No,
Hunt as well.
Rob Hunt is like you need to sign him. I'm talking about in the sense of like
Yeah.
needs right now. Like Robert Hunt's still on our team. So let's just say going into next
Okay.
season, we don't have we have Connor Williams linebacker. If we don't have Connor Williams, I mean, if we do have Connor Williams, then yeah, you know what I mean.
Center.
Vice
Yeah,
versa,
right,
one of
right,
those
right.
two.
Well,
One of those
I think either way, if you have Connor Williams or not, I think you got to go O-line like Gabriel said, because you have a question mark on
I will
Armstead.
say
You have
I
a
will
question
say-
mark on your center. You have a question mark on the other guard too, because all you really have is Hunt.
Eichenberg
So-
filled in very nicely.
No, he
At the end
didn't.
of the
No, he
season.
didn't.
He
bro.
did.
No, he did not.
No, he didn't. No, he
He
didn't.
did.
No,
I'm
he
not
Wow,
saying
didn't.
he's a starter.
Wow,
I'm not
dog.
saying he's a starter. I'm not saying he's a starter.
Listen. One thing Mike
Like-
McDaniel did very good is that he masked a lot of the O-line problems when
By
everybody was
screening,
hurt.
by throwing screens to the outside.
No.
No, it was
Look,
three
The
do
quick
not get
passes,
fooled,
man. The
bro. Do
quick
not
passes.
get fooled with Eichenberg. Watch the film again. Do not get fooled with that guy. He is not good.
I'm not
You
saying
remember
he's
Not
the
good.
game
good.
He
that
filled in.
he was
No,
getting
but Martin,
pushed,
he didn't. I
and
wouldn't even say he
was
filled in
awful.
nicely. Kendall Lamb filled in nicely. That was a nice
Yeah.
filling.
Oh yeah, no.
Not
100%, yeah.
Eichenberg. Not Eichenberg. Sorry.
I agree.
That-
What do
that
you
was
think?
really
What do you
bad,
think,
man.
Ralph? Who'd you go with, Ralph?
I said O-line. I said O-line is the biggest thing because you got
Oh,
three
yeah, let me
question
know.
marks on the O-line. You have a guard that you don't know will be back after next season. You have a tackle that you don't know will be back, and you don't know if he could play all 14 or 15, 16 games, whatever it is. And then
All
you
right,
got
now
a
that
center.
everybody, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just said you got a center with a question mark. But other than the O-line, it's linebacker because
Everybody
now you
brought
have
up Wilkins. Everybody brought up Wilkins.
I did it.
You guys. All right. Yeah, you did, Gabriel.
Tag.
No, I
I
did.
brought him up. I brought him
You
up.
guys are re-signing him,
No.
tag.
Vic,
I honestly, I don't know.
Chris.
I agree with the franchise tag. Why not?
Okay. Go ahead.
Real quick. The problem with the franchise tag is that's a hard cap hit.
You paid him a lot. You pay him a lot.
Right. That's a hard cap hit. If Christian
1 year?
Wilkins is willing to play ball, if he's willing to play ball, you sign him, and then you could kick money down the road.
You
But if
pay
he's
him the
asking for
average.
20,
You pay
all
him
right,
the,
right. But I
pay him
wouldn't
top
tag him.
top three money,
I
or
would,
top 5
I
money,
would,
something like
I
that.
would
wouldn't
sign
do it.
him. I would sign him if he wants to play ball, but I wouldn't sign him at premium money. Hell no.
Now
Hell
I'm
no.
gonna go back to what you said earlier. The window of this team is closing. This is probably the last year coming up next year of this team. Why wouldn't you tag him? You might as well bring
I-
him back.
I mean, listen, if they
Err.
tag him, no. I mean, because I'm thinking, like, if they tag
I'd
him,
rather tag Connor.
It-
I'd rather
I-
tag Connor.
ooh, that's a good one. Yeah.
The thing with Connor is, and I hate to say it because he's a good lineman. I don't think he's a great center or anything like that.
No,
But
he's a very
Con-
good center.
Yeah, he's a good center, but he ain't great.
Mhm.
He
Okay,
ain't
I
great.
your point.
He ain't Jason Kelsey.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. So the thing is with Connor, right? Yeah, he played good. He was serviceable. He didn't make mistakes, but he's coming off an injury. So you got to be careful with signing a lineman that is up there. What is he, like 30
Oh,
something?
I forgot that he tore his ACL. I did forget about
Yeah,
that.
bro. You got to be careful with that,
That's
bro.
right, in the
So
Tennessee game.
to me, O-line is number one. You got to take care. You either draft a tackle, you draft a guard, or a center, or
No,
you
a
draft
center,
a
a
guy
center.
that. No,
You're talking
you could
about the
draft
first round? In the first round?
Yeah, in the first round, you could draft a
Because I
guard.
think your guards are fine.
and
Because
play-
I believe that you signed Isaiah Wynn. Isaiah Wynn played great. You signed him to a 1-year deal. That's it. Left guard is solved. Sign Rob Hunt because that's part of your core, and you're good with your guards. Now you got to worry about, like what you said, Ralphie, your tackle and your center.
Your tackles, yeah.
But that's my thing. I
Or
was
just
gonna
one
say
tackle. Just one tackle.
You draft a young guard with let's say a short history of playing center, and you groom him in that position.
Nah, if they're gonna go center, stop with this trying to make a
Yeah.
guard a center. Draft
You
a
did the
true
same thing with
center,
Connor
man.
Williams. You did the same thing with Connor Williams.
Exactly. Like
Yeah, but
let's
Connor
let's
Williams
go
was
get
already an
a
established
center.
guard.
I don't know.
So-
I just think that if you're gonna go for guard, stop with this bullshit of trying to convert somebody. Go with the natural guard and go with the
All
best
right,
one in the draft.
I'm gonna leave the floor open. Start with you, Chris. Anybody else that you feel like the Dolphins should be looking at in free agency, draft? Come on.
Yeah, Patrick
That-
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yo, I
Let's
wish.
get
I
that
wish.
guy, bro. Let's get that guy.
I wish, bro. To be honest, I don't know who's going into free agency this year, but I gotta go back to what I said, man. We got like, let's say Xavier Howard was to get hurt. He got hurt a couple times this season. Jaden Ramsey, to say he was to get hurt. We got Kodo and Eli Apple as our backup. I understand the center, like the line's super important. It establishes the run, establishes the pass. I completely 100% agree with you guys. But bro, I gotta say our secondary got cooked a couple times, man. And if let's say one of them goes down, we got Eli Apple and Kodo as our reserves, bro. Like I just can't like
Apple's gone.
yeah. Well, yeah, I just can't
Yeah.
agree with that, bro. Yeah, so
No,
that's
I
just
can
me. That's just me.
I
So
can see
like,
that.
yeah.
I can see that.
What's
I
your
just-
what's you guys is Oh, I'm sorry, Martin. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that I feel like a lot has to do with Javon Holland being out the end of the year,
Yes.
basically.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree
So
with
that's
that.
true.
that really made our DBs a lot weaker. You know,
Mhm.
you could trust Ramsey.
Uh-huh.
Howard was out. Eli
Deshaun
Apple and
Elliott
Tater.
was hurt a little bit too as well. Deshaun Elliott.
Yeah. Brandon Jones played well at the end. So I think if he would have been, if Holland would have been back, I think it would have been a different, ending to the season. I don't think it would have changed every game. I think one of the games could have been, a win instead of a loss. But we'll see. Right now, linebacker, O-line, and maybe we'll get to DB after that. I think.
Okay.
if anything.
Okay.
What's you guys' prediction for next season? What are you guys doing? How do you think we look?
That's too early, man, to tell.
It's
It's
too early, and
mean,
also we gotta wait on, bro. Greer has his work cut out for him, bro. Greer has to focus on signing these contracts or working out, the franchise tag with some of these with Connor Williams and the draft, bro. The draft is gonna be huge, bro. Look at the transition of Kansas City, right? Kansas City let go of some contracts. They let go of Tyreek Hill. They let go of some other people, but they kept, Mahomes, and obviously Mahomes is their franchise quarterback, but they're going through this transition where they're getting, they have a top defense, don't have anybody on fucking offense, only Kelsey. Kelsey's old. They got Rashid Rice, but they're going through their transition and they're still competing at a high level, So they've done good as a franchise. They've hit on some, on Snead, on Rice. So we need to hit on some draft picks, man. We need to hit on some players in the draft.
So you guys don't want to give a prediction for next season?
It's just too
I'll
early,
give
bro.
one.
Okay, go ahead, Chris.
I say we win our we're not gonna be like the Detroit Lions, like fucking go a drought. I say we win a playoff game next year. I'm not gonna say Super
Okay.
Bowl, but I say we win a playoff game next year.
Okay.
That's my prediction.
I think
Yeah, I
we
want
sell our
something like
team
that,
to
something.
Seattle. Not to Seattle, to
What is? It's
The
not
Seattle
NBA, bro.
Dolphins. The Seattle
Yeah.
Dolphins.
we're
The
Saudi
Seattle
Arabia.
Dolphins.
Saudi Arabia.
I mean, if you want, like, it's for me how it is now
Something
with
simple.
yeah. I mean, something simple. I would probably say 12-5, and we're gonna be right there
That's
to
simple.
compete.
We haven't done that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're 11
We're
and
one
6.
game
We're
off.
11 and
We're
6.
one
Yeah, one
game
game off.
off, bro.
And let's be honest, we should have been 12-5. Tennessee. But anyways, I got, I still got nightmares of that game, bro. I still got nightmares of that game. But yeah, I would say 12-5 as of right now, 12-5, and I think we'll be competing with the AFC East just like we were last year. And in terms of winning a playoff game, I guess I don't know, bro. Like because like I said, I want to see what happens in March and April, because that's when free agency hits and the draft. But I would say 12-5. Solid year, just like this year.
Vic, you got
We're
anything?
not going to the playoffs.
Right now, 10-7. Right now, man.
Yeah,
I'm not
Holy
trying, not trying to be negative, but
because we might
this
lose a
is-
lot of players. Yeah,
we might lose. Not only that, but we haven't gotten over the hump of the fucking Bills, bro. Allen is our daddy, bro, and nothing has shown us to like, yo,
Someone keep
all right,
this
we're
guy.
gonna defeat this guy. He's running the division right now, so let's see what moves they make, bro. Maybe it's different once the draft comes around and everything, and there's a different opinion. But a week after a loss like this, right now it's the same. Right now,
yeah, it's too hard to tell.
it's hard to tell, but
Martin?
You guys are still heart aching. I get it.
Of course,
Bro, we're not making the playoffs next year. We're going on 9.
Oh God, here comes Debbie Downer. Debbie Downer. Debbie Downer. Oh, we're gonna go 5-12. Mike McDaniel's gonna lose all his games in big time
Yeah.
moments.
Yeah.
Tua is gonna shrink. She's gonna
me
become
tell you,
5'7" instead of 6'1".
As of right now, you haven't seen it otherwise. So let's close it out.
Let me tell you guys something. Next season is, I think, the last season of this team altogether. I feel like Greer's gonna find a way to keep them together. If they play and they keep that message in mind, I feel like we'll make it to the AFC Championship, but we'll eventually lose.
No, but but hold on, but time out. Martin, they're not that far off though.
they're not.
They're really not.
They're really not that far off, bro.
They're not.
Let's be
Yes, they
honest,
are.
bro. Like,
We
no, they're
were
not.
we hold
Listen,
up.
if this
Can I say
team would have
something?
stayed
Can I
healthy,
say
if
something?
this team, hold on, if this team would have stayed healthy, which I know that's unrealistic, but let's just say 90% healthy, even with our line intact, with Isaiah Wynn, with Connor, bro, we would have made the AFC Championship game this year because we would have had the number 1 seed because we would have locked it up before the Ravens game. We would have the number 1 seed.
There's always
and we
one
would've
thing
won our
the
first playoff
Dolphin
game, and
fans could guarantee you. It's being ridiculous. We
No,
haven't
that's
done
not.
shit.
That's not. That's
And
not
we had
ridiculous.
Tua
That's not
last year
ridiculous.
against the Bills. We would have been in the
No, bro.
AFC.
Listen. No, because if you want to talk about like if Ryan Tannehill era and saying AFC Championship game, yeah, you're ridiculous. But we're really not that far off. I'm telling you,
I agree, bro.
coach.
I agree.
Yeah, if we coach a little better, and if health is a little bit on our side, like luck wise, AFC Championship. Now, I don't think we're gonna do that next year, but it's not that far off. Is what I'm saying. It's right there. It's reachable.
Closing thoughts.
Yeah, I mean they have to. McDaniels has to go through his learning curve. If Tua gets more clutch and something that he can learn, being more clutch and making that second and third read instead of just going to Tyreek. And I'm not talking about the under 500 teams, the elite defensive teams. We can make it to the AFC East Championship.
Hey, you go back to that Philly game. We shot ourselves in the foot a lot of times, and Tyreek dropped, I think, a touchdown that game.
And
We
Tua
shot ourselves
played
in
well
the
that
foot
game.
all the time.
The refs help.
No, and Tua played well that game.
Yeah, he did great, and the refs were part of the Eagles as well. So it was like like a 15-11. But geez, like you go back to that game. You go back to that game, man. We could have had that game, but it is what it is. Let's get prepared for next season. I say we still win a playoff game next season. And
So Martin, what's the record? You said miss the playoffs. What's the record?
I think we're getting 9 wins next year.
Okay,
Yeah.
9 wins.
9-8.
No,
Leave
but
it to Martin.
to mess up to just fuck everything up.
At the end of the day, man, we haven't.
Why do you think we're gonna go 9-8 though? Why?
I don't
he's
think
Martin.
we're gonna. There's certain pieces I don't think we're gonna. So I think Connor, we're gonna end up losing Connor. We're gonna end up losing Wilkins. we're gonna have to make a decision on Tua, which will honestly make everything else, all the dominoes fall into place. Without Tua's contract, we're really up in the air because if you don't sign him this year, you're gonna have to sign him next year with all the other additional pieces you have to sign. So it doesn't make sense. It's either sign him now or this team is gonna be ripped apart, 100%. And I just think that's gonna be a really big problem because we're gonna probably have to trade one of the early picks to get one of these positional players we want. And so that means another expensive contract on our books. So it's going to make it even more difficult because we're in win now mode.
I will also say, I will also say the cap, like not adjusting, but like maneuvering the like cap room and cap space, it can be done. It's been done. If you have a good GM and you have a good capologist, as they call it, he's known to pay. So what I'm saying is that I'm not too really worried about the cap. Oh my God, we're 40 million under. Bro, listen, there's a lot of restructures that can happen. You can cut people post June 1st, and you can, that I'm not really worried about. Because Martin, it sounds like Martin thinks that, oh, we're gonna lose all these players because of that reason, which I don't. I'm not saying you're saying that, but that's what it sounds like, and I just don't think that we're gonna lose them because of those reasons. If it's cap room problems, I think that we'll find a way to get to
that Jewish man likes spending that money, man.
Censor.
Oh my
censor.
man, I'm not trying to be a racist podcast.
No comment.
Thank you guys.
I thought it was on Joe Rogan. I thought it was on Joe Rogan.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we have no affiliation to Vic.
No, listen, guys. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate you, Vic, Chris, and mini Jeff Ireland over here, Gabriel.
Jeff Ireland. Damn, you're gonna try me like that, Jeff Ireland?
Yeah, no, Pat Riley, Pat Riley.
Hey, thank you guys. It's always fun. Like I said, it's always good to talk shit about this team, even though how bad we finish games, finish seasons. Bro, the best for next season. Like, share, subscribe. This is All Fin, where we go all in on the Dolphins to 2024, man.
Sad.